Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of ECU where police are investigating a sexual battery that occurred at an ECU dorm. Police say the report of unwanted touching was shared with them yesterday, but it happened several days ago at Green Hall. The people involved are acquaintances, according to police. Police also say this case is under investigation at this time. Police arrested Von Toy Kurse for a sexual battery that happened in Clement Hall back in September. Now this semester there have been 5 reported on-campus rapes at ECU. 21-year-old Joseph Lane was arrested last month for a rape that happened at Fletcher Hall on October 5th. And now we want to turn our attention to the mass shooting that occurred in Australia over the weekend by a 50-year-old man and his 24-year-old son. NBC's Sarah James has more from Sydney.
Tributes pouring in here to Bondi Beach after a terror attack here during a festival of lights, turning that ceremony into a day of darkness, one of the worst days in Australian history. 2 gunmen opening fire on that peaceful celebration, killing 15 people, injuring 42, many of whom are still in the hospital. And authorities say the situation would have been even worse had it not been for a local merchant who wrestled the gun from one of the gunmen. One of the gunmen is dead, the other is in custody and in the hospital as police look into what happened and say that an extremist ideology is to blame. Meantime, the country is also looking at tightening its already strict gun control laws, and that is already happening. Other efforts are underway to ensure that the Jewish community feels safe. Meantime, a sense of anxiety continues here at Bondi Beach, one of the most iconic beaches in the world, but also now notorious. Sarah James, NBC News, Bondi Beach, Australia.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast, looking at lots of sunshine across the east today. We'll see even more coming up for tomorrow. The cloud cover that's present right now is very thin and really made up of ice crystals right now. Not super surprising considering our air temperatures down at ground level right now are down in the low to mid 30s, 33 degrees in New Bern right now, northerly wind at 7 miles an hour, keeping the feels like temperature below that freezing point. Currently feels like 27 degrees outside. Dew points down in the single digits. That is going to help air temperatures fluctuate quite a bit over the next couple days. By that, we mean we're actually going to be warming up. 34 degrees right now in Grifton, comes with a north-northwesterly breeze at 5 miles an hour. The lighter winds are making the wind chills not quite as impactful for inland areas, but still everybody's going to want to grab a jacket as you head out the door, as most of us are looking at air temperatures right around the freezing point. Some of us are a little bit above, others a little bit below. All of us should be significantly warmer than where we're at right now. Normal this time of year is the upper 50s to low 60s. We will be back to that range coming up later on this week, really Thursday and Friday looking like warmer than average days. Tomorrow, though, we will be warming up back into the upper 40s, so we'll certainly see a temperature jump over the next 24 hours. A big reason why is winds are going to start to shift. Winds right now are relaxing across the east, showing again a calming trend that will help adjust that wind direction as we make our way through tonight into tomorrow. Here's the picture by the time we get to around 8 o'clock, and you can see further back towards I-95, see more of a southerly breeze, whereas those of you watching closer to the Sounds, particularly Swan Quarter and Hatteras, still going to be seeing a northerly breeze by the time we reach 8 p.m. tonight. Well, let's fast forward and get into your Tuesday. West-southwesterly winds intact for your Tuesday morning. That will bring about warmer temperatures throughout the area. Coming up for tomorrow, plan on the upper 40s instead of the low 30s. Nice temperature gain there, but we've got even warmer weather on the way. Coming up for really Thursday and Friday. That area of high pressure you're seeing back towards Kansas and Colorado, well, that high is going to be working its way eastward towards us. And once it moves off to our east, that's when we really start to see the southerly wind flow increase enough to push air temperatures into the 60s and finally get above our seasonal average. Now, that area of low pressure you're seeing down towards Houston, Texas, that is going to be increasing our chances of rain for Thursday and Friday. Not looking like it's going to be extending into the upcoming weekend, though. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. And again, air temperatures from the low to mid 30s today, upper 40s coming up for tomorrow. Some areas may sneak into low 50s. 60 degrees on Wednesday, 65 on Thursday, 60 again on Friday. But Thursday and Friday, again, will feature a better chance of some scattered spotty showers coming in. Certainly not looking at any sort of severe weather with that system. But it will bring about a much needed opportunity for some raindrops. 57 degrees on Saturday, turns to 67 on Sunday. But with Sunday's next frontal system, again, maybe a few raindrops will get squeezed out of those clouds. Not a whole lot, and air temperatures really aren't going to be dropping too much from Sunday into Monday. But again, we won't be able to hang on to the upper 60s coming up as we start off next week, unlike what we will end up seeing on Sunday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Monday.